Hi, this is Mrs. Hansen, your online sexuality instructor. And for your second discussion board topic, we are going to get introduced to the concepts of sex negative and sex positive approaches to discussions about sexuality. In the old days, back when I was in grammar school and high school, there was a very sex negative approach. Parents and schools alike took the approach of fear tactics and scary stories and scary films to inform young people about sexuality issues. So most of the information we were given was warnings, and dire consequences were highlighted, and nothing positive about sex or sexuality was ever mentioned. It was all to scare kids in the thought that they may not have sexual curiosity, which is complete BS. And it also left all the positive information undefined. Sexuality is an incredible aspect of being human. And I think we need to be honest about that with young people. It is one of the most incredible experiences we share with each other, or it can be hell. It can be a hellish experience or a fantastic experience. Every sexual partner you have will want something different from you, and you may want something different from every sexual partner you have. But a sex positive approach doesn't deny there are risks with sex, but instead of just scaring young people with STD pictures and films and showing a 10-pound baby being delivered to a screaming mother, these are not effective for helping young people deal with their sexual feelings, thoughts, and desires. There's nothing wrong with having sexual thoughts and feelings and desires. So what do you think about this concept of being a little more honest about the positive aspects of sexuality in talking to our children? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Did you receive primarily a sex negative approach in school and at home? Did any of you get any sex positive messages? Sex positive messages are empowering. This is, for instance, when I first told my 5th grade daughter what a blowjob was because she heard it, some boys were bragging on the playground that they'd had blowjobs. So my daughter, that they had had oral sex. That's what she said. So, Mom, what is oral sex? She already knew about heterosexual intercourse. So I thought, oh boy, I didn't know this was going to come up so soon, but here we go. So I said, well, honey, oral sex is when one sexual partner, either a man or a woman, uses their mouth, lips, and tongue to kiss, lick, and suck on the other person's genitals to make them feel good. It's stimulating. It's pleasurable if it's done consensually, and if it's not done consensually, then it's a form of sexual abuse or rape. So I said, no one should ever be forced to do that before they're ready. And I said, do you think kids in 5th grade are ready to have oral sex? Well, first of all, she looked at me and she went, kiss a penis? And then she gagged. And I just kind of laughed and I said, well, honey, does that sound disgusting? Does kissing a penis sound disgusting? And she goes, yes. Why would anyone ever do that? And I laughed and I said, well, in 5th grade, I would imagine, it does sound disgusting because you're in no way ready. Your brain is not ready to understand that kind of physical intimacy between partners, honey. I said, that's something really special. And I said, it's too bad if these kids are engaging in it because, what does that leave that's special for later, So if you do it all by the age of 12, where do you go from there? So anyway, I said, does that sound disgusting? She says, yeah. And I said, well, one day when you're older, you may change your mind, or you may stick with your opinion that that's disgusting, and you don't have to do it, and no one should ever force you to do it. But one day you may decide you want to do that. That'll be your decision. I won't be there. I just want you to know that you can always come to me for accurate information. I'm never going to lie to you. I'm not going to make up stories to scare you. Okay? And then she looked at me, she goes, "Do you and Dad do that?" And I said, "That is private, honey. We would never reveal to our children what we do sexually." And she looked at me, she goes, "You do!" She was horrified. And I said, "No comment." Now, she's 33 today, so we still laugh about this story about oral sex. One of the things I did I thought that was brilliant was I stalled. I didn't answer her question right away. The lips, tongue, and mouth to kiss, lick, and suck other person's genitals. I didn't answer right away. I said, "Honey," I said, "first of all, why don't you tell me what you think it is? Tell me what you think it is." That was a stall tactic so I could get my thoughts together. And she said, "Well, I know what sex is." We'd already talked about heterosexual intercourse. Of course, that's not the only kind of sex there is. You'll notice that in the video I had you watch on Birds and Bees and Kids, that all the parents were talking about heterosexual intercourse. And that is not all that sex is it? No one mentioned any other kind of sex. But anyway, where was I? So, oh yeah, I said, "What do you think it is?" And she said, "Well, oral means talking, and sex means intercourse. A man puts a penis in a woman's vagina, an erect penis." She was really pretty smart. And she said, "So I'm thinking oral sex is when a man is having sex with a woman and he talks mean to her." I said, "What do you mean he talks mean to her?" And she goes, "Well, the way they were talking about oral sex, I could tell it was bad." So I said, "Honey, that is a logical, brilliant answer, but it's wrong." And then I launched into the lips, mouth, and tongue to kiss, lick, and suck other people, another person's genitals, penis or vagina. And she said exactly what I told you she said. She kind of gagged, and I already told you the rest of the story there. So we laugh about it a lot. The important message I wanted her to get, besides the factual information, was an empowerment that one day she'll be making those sexual decisions on her own. My job is to prepare her for making those decisions. And we have to talk about more than just physicality. We have to talk about more than just penis and vagina. We have to talk about circumstances and, things to be aware of. Honey, it's really important that you are with someone that is someone who really cares about you and that you care about them. A lot of people think you should get married first. I don't particularly think that's a necessity, but it should be someone you feel deeply for in a loving way. And as far as age goes, fifth grade, it's out of the question. Fifth grade is ridiculous, honey. You don't have to worry about that. Just know that that's something very special for later. And if someone manipulates you, then don't go along with it and ask for help if you need it. What a landmine. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks.